Well, listen, I guess someone's got to be the George Soros of the right. I mean, I'd call myself George Soros of the center, I think. We obviously need to have just the basics. As President Trump rightly said, what we need is the restoration of common sense. We want safe cities. We want secure borders, sensible spending, freedom of speech, respect for the Constitution. Anyway, so if that's George Soros of the right, that's me, okay? I'm incredibly excited about the future. The public has given us a mandate that could not be more clear. It's the clearest mandate. Winning the popular vote clearly, the House, the Senate, the Electoral College by a mile, a majority of governorships, a majority of House legislatures, all Republican. The people have spoken. The people want change. And we're going to give it to them. They will get what they asked for. I think this is going to be the most transformative presidency, perhaps since the founding of the country. And President Trump is picking the cabinet to do it. You can see the choices are people who are actually going to make change. It's not going to be business as usual. We're going to shake things up. It's going to be a revolution. And we're headed towards, I think, a fantastic future. I'm super excited. I look forward to experiencing that with everyone. Thank you.
Elon Musk is taking on a new challenge beyond Tesla and SpaceX. He's now part of a team aiming to cut $2 trillion from federal spending. This plan goes beyond just saving money. It's about changing how our government operates. They're looking at ways to streamline processes, update outdated systems, and rethink how services are delivered. It's a big idea that could affect a lot of things in our daily lives. Stay tuned to find out exactly how these changes might impact you and what it could mean for the future of our country. Elon Musk has taken a surprising turn into politics, declaring himself the George Soros of the right. This is quite a shift for someone known primarily for rockets and electric cars. Musk has jumped into the political arena with both feet, making waves with his statements and actions. He's been vocal about what he calls the woke mind virus and its impact on society. Musk's been openly supporting Republican candidates and critiquing Democratic policies, a big change from his previous public persona. So why are tech billionaires like Musk getting into politics? These guys have already changed the world with their companies. They've got the resources and the experience making big things happen. Maybe they think they can apply that same approach to government. But Musk's transformation stands out. He's not just sharing opinions. He's positioning himself as a major player in conservative politics. The recent election results seem to have been a big catalyst for this change. Musk saw them as a sign that people want something different. He talks about voters being fed up with how things are run in Washington, and he sees himself as the one to shake things up. Musk isn't just talking, though. He's got plans. He's teaming up with Trump to create a new department called DOGE. It's aimed at changing how our government works, and people are paying attention. When Musk speaks, it makes headlines. What's Musk's vision for America's future? He's pushing for what he calls common sense governance and major reforms. He wants to cut government spending and streamline operations. But it goes beyond budget cuts. Musk is calling for a complete rethink of how our government functions. With his track record of innovation, people are taking notice. The big question is whether he can transform politics the way he did the auto and space industries. What if I told you that 80% of the government's $100 billion IT budget goes to maintaining outdated systems? It's a staggering figure, and Elon Musk and his team are aiming to change that. They've created DOGE, which stands for the Department of Government Efficiency. But here's the thing. It's not an official government department. It's more like an advisory body that lets Musk and his partner, Vivek Ramaswamy, skip the red tape that comes with federal employment. DOGE's mission is to slash trillions in government spending. Our federal budget is huge. We're talking about $6 trillion with a deficit of $1.8 trillion. Musk thinks he can stop this bleeding of money. They're not just looking at the IT budget, though. The IRS, the Department of Defense, the Department of Education, They're all in Doge's sights. And there might be good reasons for that. Did you know the Department of Defense hasn't passed an audit in 7 years? 7 years. That's the kind of thing that drives Musk crazy. Now, some experts are saying Musk's goal of cutting 1/3 of federal spending isn't realistic. They point out that a big chunk of the budget goes to things like Social Security and Medicare. But Musk and his team aren't backing down. They're talking about tackling fraud in federal agencies and cutting through red tape to speed up government projects. Of course, this isn't the first time someone's tried to reform the government. The Reagan-era Grace Commission had similar goals, but struggled to get its recommendations implemented. Doge could face the same challenges. Musk says they're committed to transparency and getting input from the public. But since Doge isn't an official department, there's not much accountability. So what's the end game here? Musk and Ramaswamy are talking about nothing less than a revolution in how our government works. They want to streamline, modernize, and cut costs across the board. It's a huge undertaking, and it's bound to ruffle some feathers. But if they can pull it off, it could change everything about how our government operates. The question is, can they really make it happen? Imagine a closed-door meeting with Republican lawmakers. Elon Musk and Donald Trump are standing side by side, dropping a bombshell about their naughty and nice list for budget cuts. It's a perfect snapshot of their unexpected alliance. These two weren't always on the same team. They had their share of disagreements when Trump was president. But now, they're teaming up to shake up Washington in a big way. It's like watching two different worlds collide. Musk, the data-driven tech CEO, and Trump, the gut instinct politician, are balancing each other out. Musk brings his efficiency mindset, while Trump adds his political experience and supporter base. Together, they're targeting government spending and trying to modernize how things work. This partnership could really change things up in both tech and politics. We might see more Silicon Valley solutions in government, and Trump's influence could help push through some big changes. So, what does this mean for the Republican Party? Well, Musk and Trump are pushing for a more business-oriented approach to running the country. They're talking about efficiency and cost-cutting in ways that might appeal to both traditional conservatives and tech-savvy voters. It's like they're trying to create a new brand of republicanism. Musk sees the recent election results as a clear sign that people want change. He thinks voters are frustrated with business as usual in Washington and are ready for something different. And you know what? This Musk-Trump team-up could have some pretty big long-term effects on American politics and society. We're talking about potential changes to how government operates, how tech interacts with Washington, and maybe even how we think about the role of government in our lives. So what might those long-term impacts look like? Well, that's what we need to dive into next. As Musk steps further into the political arena, we're seeing tech and politics collide in ways we've never seen before. The question is, are we ready for what comes next? But now Musk is shaking things up. He's becoming a major player in politics, and that's creating some interesting conflicts. How do you balance innovation with regulation? One thing's for sure, Musk's political transformation is going to have long-lasting effects. We're talking about potential changes to how our government operates, how tech companies are regulated, maybe even how we think about democracy itself. So where do we go from here? Well, that's what we need to talk about next. Because the decisions we make now about how to handle this new reality are going to shape our future for years to come. Elon Musk's recent moves are shaking up the political landscape in unprecedented ways. His partnerships, cryptocurrency ventures, and proposed government spending cuts could significantly impact how our government operates and how tech intersects with politics. But this goes beyond just one election or one billionaire. We're facing big questions about our democracy in an increasingly tech-driven world.